back in the third chapter of the biology, that is tissue. So student, you will learn about the tissue, that is the plant tissue and animal tissue. So first of all, these tissues are studied in the branch of biology that we call histology. Histology means it is dealing the study of tissues, either plant tissue or animal tissue. So as per the definition of the tissue is a group of similar or dissimilar cells that perform a common function and have a common origin. And group of cells is called tissue. That is the general definition. Group of cells is called tissue. So there are here we will discuss about the two different type of tissues, that is the plant tissue and animal tissue. When it is present in the plant, so we will call it the plant tissue, and when it is present in the animal, then we will call it the animal tissues. These plant tissue and animal tissues are having some slight differences also. It is not exactly that whatever the tissue present in the plants have the common function to the animal tissue or vice versa. So there are some of the differences between the plant tissue and animal tissue. So let us see the first difference of the plant tissue and animal tissue is the plant tissue almost consists of about 60-70% of the dead cells. More than the 60% or 70% they are consisting of the dead cells, but animal tissues are composed of most of the cell alive cells. Their cells are living cells, and the plant tissues are having the dead cells. So here you can see that this is the dead cells, but here you can say this is the living cells. And this whatever the plant tissues are, actually they are dead cells, so they provide the mechanical strength or support to the plant tissue. Here you can see that supportive tissue are more abundant as compared to the dead tissues. But you can see here in the animal tissue the quantity of living cells are more as compared to the dead tissues. Now if this plant tissue is having the dead tissues or dead cells, so definitely it require less energy for the maintenance, and here it require more energy to maintenance because they consist of most of the cells or the most of the tissues are alive. Next one is that the plant tissue is having there two categorization, that is the permanent tissue and the meristematic tissue, but here there is no particular differentiation of the meristematic tissue or the permanent tissue. Next one is the organization is simple. Organization is here simple and here organization is little complex. What is the meaning of organization here? Organization here means whatever the group of the cell or the arrangement of cells in a tissue is not very complicated, but here it is very structure wise, functional wise, it is little complex. And this plant tissue made for non-motility, that is the stationary. Here the tissues whichever present in animal tissue is meant for the high level of motility, that is the motion, movement from here and there. So this is the some of the differences between the plant tissue and animal tissue. As I was telling that structural organization, once again I would like to say that is the why do we call it the simple, and here why it is called complex, because they have more specialized tissues. They have more specialized tissue to perform various function. For example, nutrition, respiration, excretion, so on. But here there is little less complexity. Therefore we called it the simple organization of the plant tissue. So these are the certain differences between the plant tissue and the animal tissue. Now if we look at the flow chart of the plant tissue, how many type of plant tissues are present in a given plant? So let us see about the different types of the plant tissue present in a woody tree or angiospermic plant or gymnospermic plants. So this plant tissue is basically is having the first one is called meristematic tissue and the second one is called the permanent tissue. Now here the term meristematic tissue is what? Meristematic tissue means they have power to divide continuously or throughout the lifetime period. So this type of tissue which have power of division or they have capability to divide throughout the life is known as meristematic tissue. But what is the permanent tissue here? These permanent tissues are those tissue which could not have the power of division. It means these cells or the tissue do not have power to divide, and you will very surprised that this permanent tissue is taken out from the meristematic tissue. Sometime it happened that some of the meristematic tissue lost the power of division, so they are converted into the permanent tissue. Now this permanent meristematic tissue have certain features that we will come to the point also. And this meristematic tissue first is have apical, second is lateral, and third is intercalary. Okay. Now permanent tissue is of two types: simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissue. This meristematic tissue, they are made up of one type of cells, where here the simple meristematic tissue and complex meristematic tissues, sorry, here the simple permanent tissue and the complex permanent tissue. So the simple permanent tissue is PCS. P stand for parenchyma, C stand for collenchyma, and S stand for sclerenchyma. These three type of collenchyma and these three type of permanent tissue is composed of one type of cell, that is a similar group of cells. But here that complex, as the name told or as the name reveals that complex, there is a complexity. It means they are consisting of different type of cells. Example, phloem and xylem. And if we are asking about the xylem tissue or the phloem tissue, so xylem tissue is consisting of 4 different type of cells, and phloem is also consisting of 4 different type of cells. So they are called as complex permanent tissue because of they are consisting of different type of cells. But here this PCS, P stand for parenchyma, C stand for collenchyma, S stand for sclerenchyma. These all three consist of one type of cells. There is no differentiation, there is no complexity at all. Now this is the flowchart which I just told you. You can see and you please watch it. Now come to the meristematic tissue in the detail. Meristematic tissues are very specialized tissue. They are very peculiar tissue which is only present in the plant, and where they are present? They are present in the growing region of the plant. What do we call a growing region of plant? When you uproot a plant, you will find the root system and the shoot system. The root system is the part of the plant which goes toward the gravity. It means it is inside the soil or it is moved towards the soil side. And shoot system is which is attracted towards the sunlight or it is away from the gravity. It is present in the aerial part. So this shoot system comprises of branches, stems and leaves, etc. So shoot system is also having their own region where growth begins or where there is a continuous growth takes place in the plant's body. So meristematic tissue once again is a type of tissue which is very specialized in function, and they have power of division. Power of division in the sense cells continuously divide their number. Suppose there is 2 cells, then 4, then 8, then 16, like this. When the number of cells will increase, whatever the diameter of the stem will be increased, the thickness will be increased, and length of the stem or the root or the tree will be also increases. So this is about the meristematic tissue. and the meristematic tissue containing the cells, and that cells is known as meristematic cells. So some of the features of the meristematic tissue. Meristematic tissue have their own peculiar feature, their own salient feature. First one is that most of the most of the meristematic tissues are having living cells. They are the living tissue and they are thin walled structure. It means there is no thick covering of the protective layer. So first one is, it is the tissue which is living and thin walled structure. Number two, actually these meristematic tissues are having similar in structure and they may be rounded shape, oval shape, rectangular shape. So their shape, whatever the number, suppose there is a if I am saying the example, a plant is having suppose 50 cells in the meristematic region. So all these 50 cells, if it is oval, so all will be oval. If it is rectangular, then all will be rectangular. Likewise, so this is the cluster of the similar kind of the cells which have the same shape of the cell. Next, these meristematic tissues are compactly arranged. It means like a solid state in the chemistry. There is no intercellular space between the cells. And one of the prominent feature of this one is they do not have vacuole. Vacuole is absent in the meristematic tissues and they do not have intercellular space. So these are the certain peculiar feature of the meristematic tissues. And last, I would like to say that these meristematic tissues have the high rate of metabolism. Metabolism means all those biological reaction or cellular reaction in the cell is said to be metabolic reaction. Now the question is, okay, come on the location of meristematic tissue in the plant body, or what are the different type of meristematic tissues which is present in the plant body. So first you can see, I told, when we uproot a plant, you will find this is the shoot tip, is a terminal portion, and when you will go there, actually when we will go here in the ground side, that is the soil side, and you uproot it, what you will find, you will find the root. So this is the shoot system, and actually root system is not visible here. So when you uproot the plant, you will find the root system. So this tip is called the shoot tip, and below you will the ground side you will find the root system or root tip. So the meristematic tissues are basically present in the root shoot tip and root tip. Apart from that, they are also present in between the internodal region. Internodal region means a stem is characterized by presence of nodes and internodes. If you see the sugarcane, you will find that there are some goat-like structure. There are some circles from where you can see the eye buds structure, and the leaves also rise. So that is called the node region. And between the two node region, you will find the internode. So this intercalary meristematic tissue or intercalary meristematic tissue, where it is present in the internodal region. Internodal, that is, this is called node, this is called node. So in between the two node, the structure is known as internode. And what type of meristematic tissues is present here? Intercalary meristematic tissue. Now the question is, where you will find the apical meristematic tissue. Apical meristematic tissues are present at the tip of the shoot and tip of the root. Third, where you find the lateral meristematic tissue. Lateral meristematic tissues are present lateral sides to the plant, lateral position, side by side. You can the side by side, like our hand, our body. The hand position is side lateral, or that is side by side. So what happened when this apical meristematic tissues. Now the function of apical meristematic tissue is what? These apical meristematic tissue present where the apex, that is called root apex or shoot apex, and what the function is, it increases the length of the tree, stem or root. Now this function of this intercalary, actually it is present in the internodal region. So what their function is, here is suppose leaf is arises, or if here is branches arises or sprout out, so the base of the leaf, it is also present at the base of the leaf and responsible for the growth of leaves and internodes in the plant. So which kind of tissue is responsible for the internodal growth? The answer is intercalary meristematic tissue. You have seen maximum, you have seen somewhere in the that grazing fields, mostly the cow or the goats or browse the grasses, but you can see that after few days, 1 or 2 days hardly, once again that grasses remain their own shape, they again regenerated. Why? This is because of the intercalary meristematic tissues. So intercalary meristematic tissues is act as a boon for the grasses, and it is equally helpful for the cows, buffalo, goat, etc., because they browse it, they eat the grasses. Now there is lateral meristematic tissue. Lateral meristematic tissue responsible for the thickness, that is the thickness. Suppose this is 2 centimeter diameter, then 4 centimeter, then 6 10 centimeter, then 10, then 15, like this. Then what happens? The size of the diameter of the tree, stem or the root will be increases because of the lateral meristematic tissue. So this is the type of meristematic tissue that we have discussed today, and this is okay. And after seeing this video, after watching this video, you are requested to that please make a write up on your biology notebook, because this is a new chapter, it's not a revision part. So thanks for watching this video. God bless you.